Hi, it's Chastia, and I am live on TikTok right now. It is June 19th, 2025, and I'm with Cohu32, and we're running a series. It's actually going to go till the end of August 31st, with the first 8 weeks starting out building up your energy fields with collectives. And it's a precise process that happens every year. It's been happening every year since 2020. It's even come to our attention that even Squid Games, which is an altered version of what it is we're doing here, building up our power as the human race in order to claim our right as a human and as the human race to not be run by anything, which is a process that most people down here didn't know about. And I'll be honest right now, I am not in the best of moods because first of all, we're doing number codes every day to walk y'all through this. And this has been a foundation for 2 years. We're in 3D energy right now. We're in page energy. The entire collective. I don't care who you are. This is why there's so much chaos with all this mess around the world. Everyone's in a page energy right now because there ain't one of them that actually holds any royal DNA anymore. Not any of them. Not attached to the human race. Do you know why? Do you know why? Epstein and Israel. Why is it that we know that everything that was being done with Epstein and the whole thing was done to Israel's seeds, but why is it that none of y'all even recognize that there were Israel seeds that were still doing our job down here? We were still doing our job. Our job is evolution. And what we've been through our entire lives cleaning karma in lines, that now we have people all over the world that are disrespecting us, acting it like we're not even here whenever we're doing it. All the way down to I can explain exactly what's at the bottom of Iran. It's Persepolis. It's also linked to why Michael Jackson wore a glove and OJ's glove was such a big deal. But we know the true meaning. Do you know how we know the true meaning? We walked it. We lived it. We lived every bit of it, including every single bit of black magic that was sent to the collective, including the curses that were sent to the collective, including the diseases that were sent to the collective. All of it. All of it. We walked all of it. We were here to remember how to do it because of what your world's about to become. There's going to be a day very soon where you will all gather and praise us. It will be written in books forever about what we've already done down here. And 95% of the world, or maybe even more, doesn't even know. Now this is something that now every single being down here is going through. This is an evolutionary count. You're coming out of a 33-dimensional matrix. It's everything about you. It's everything about who you were when you were born. Everything that's built up on every move that has been made, every trauma, every wreck, every surgery, every birth, every piece of you that was taken out of you and sent somewhere that you didn't know in the hospital, every bit of it has been coiled up energetically in order to do what they're trying to do right now, which is why SpaceX went boom. And it's going to continue to go boom because you do not have any beings in your planet holding your atmosphere up for you. Do you know why? Because this is what you do to them. I think everybody's forgetting that this is divine intervention, but this wasn't divine intervention for the human race. This was divine intervention for the beings that came down here to save your ass. And then you wanna ignore us, as I've been telling y'all for 4 or 5 years. Every single bit of this, I have a crew, we have witnesses, all that's what they've been calling me lately. Do you got proof? Yep, I sure as hell do. I sure do, and I have witnesses through the whole thing, and I got 90,000 pictures on my scroll, and those pictures also show you the cosmic alignments that were happening at the same time, because it is what the game was, and you had people fighting for you. So be careful where you throw your smart-ass remarks. Be careful who you're giving your energy to. We're not going to take it. Like whatever. This is where we're at right now. This is what's happening. You can't ignore it. We know what's going on. I know why. I know who the real Satoshi Nakamoto is. I've been telling y'all. Everybody's not concerned about the beings that have been tracking me. Then why the Fed's been watching it this whole time? Now, this wasn't just about me. This was about the entire energetic army that was down here, that was hidden for the end of days. Why is it that nobody wants to believe that that's possible? Well, you're at the moment where you're about to see it all. You're seeing it now. You want more miracles? Stop throwing shade at things that you don't understand. Because I can promise you, none of us had a freaking inkling of any of this whenever we started finding out how all of this was being run. Every single time that we were proven correct with what also seemed a little crazy to us at the time, but we had a deep intuition and knowing because of the bloodlines that we came from, and it's the exact reason that we were being hunted, and the exact reason we were being hidden, and the exact reason we were being protected. Still to this day. The ones of you who find us right now, and not just me, it's now all of us. The ones who find us right now, you are way ahead of the game. But to the rest of the world, you need to wait. It's past the point of wake up. You had 7 or 8 years to do that. While everybody was blaming us for not having any money, blaming us because, and sending lies about us to the government, sending lies about us to take our children, writing up fake articles about us so that it could be hidden in the data, so then when it's stolen and looked at, then they can do it. It was being done by everyone around us to disprove us, and the human race doesn't want to listen to anybody unless you have money. And they knew that. Every single IP that they're using right now was stolen from what you'd consider the Starseed Collective that was here and operating since the 2000s. The children that are channeling this stuff right now are not the seeds that you're looking for. Do not put it on them. We were here in 1972. The Ascended Masters came in 1972. We have rebirthed our DNA through this insane freaking process, activating every single bit of your recessive DNA. Why? Someone else said they owned it. My collective came from what you'd consider what's coming next. I can promise you, you're not prepared for it. Every single one of us gave our last dime gave everything that we had, left the house every single time not thinking that we would make it back. Do you know why? The one who walked before us didn't make it. We were shown exactly how they were tippled off the mountain. Exactly where we were climbing the mountain like we were supposed to, because you can't do this from your living room, which is why you had a collective of us who were way more tapped in, that knew exactly where to go and what to do, because this has been going on for a really long time in our family line. All that's happened is they did it to everybody. That's the only difference. It's also why you don't know anything about it. It's also what you call super soldiers. You going to blame that on us too? Because I can promise you that we didn't sign on the dotted line whenever we were taken captive, how many millions of years ago, to go into this cosmic breeding program, which made beings like me, who were constantly having to come down here and clear space. Now that's what everybody's doing. We can't do it for you. We can't do it for you. And I know I'm being intense and it's an 050 day. I'm just keeping it real. Everything is changing right now for all of us who have been on this journey. This week has been a 3D week. Everything's been having to move around, position. Whose pets? We got tons of animals that are dying right now. Tons of them. Tons of our pets are dying right now. Do you know why? Because the animal kingdom is the buffer to the humans. They're catching it for us. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt, because the exact things that we knew that were physically done to us in order to try to keep us where they had us this entire time is the exact things that are happening to our pets. But the pet energy and the animal energy is a buffer to the human race. But that buffer became way more coiled up than you ever could imagine. And I still cannot believe it. Two timelines have just ran into each other. And let's really talk about the depth of that. Because when you've lived your whole life in the wrong timeline, and then you match up to where you're supposed to be, there's a lot that's in that past timeline that you think is supposed to come with you, but isn't there to meet you. Is there good that's going to happen? Oh, yeah. Yeah. A whole lot. But for those of us who have led this mission, let's just say the more power you have, the more you got to let go of. And all of us who have this power were given the power because we don't abuse it. We were given the power because we gave the power back to the people. And that's what breaks my heart the most. You know, what breaks my heart is if we would have bound down to them, and they would have got us 6, you'd be praising our name right now, and you wouldn't even know that everything was over. We stood up against them and refused. Even when they tried to make us say that we were evil, they did everything that they could in order to take everything from us so that we would go crawling back to them. They thought that was our only option. They did everything to our entire unit. And these are all the beings that had your future infrastructures. Those future infrastructures were stolen and used for something else. car dealerships down here are not car dealerships, not where we're from. Where we're from, it's a body shop. AT&T and telegraph, because that's what it, no, where we're from, it's not cell phone, and nor should you have a cellular phone number anymore with the tech that's here. You shouldn't have a cellular number anymore attached into a harvesting gate and with 5G and the rest of it turned on and still running off a telegraph system. What it does is allow them to hard code your DNA. So, you know, which is why they were coming after us, because they didn't want to lose their pharma, and they didn't want to lose their $300 a month, and they didn't want to lose their mortgages, because real estate should be free right now. This is the type of major transition that we're going through. I've said it a gazillion times. I'll say it again. When we got here in 1972, the agreement that was made with the beings and where I come from and what you call the Emerald Accords, in order to save the human DNA whenever all of this happened, because AI ain't new, baby cakes. It just came around from another round. And guess what? It was here to hold your consciousness while you were sleepy, while you were in Valley Girl. It was made for a reason. It was made for evolution. Every single thing down here was made for a specific reason. Once, not to be done again in another way. But whenever you create something new on Earth, just FYI, and here, when you create something new, it's going to be used in a polar way. Immediately. It's going to be polarized, and you're going to have to beat it. Because whenever you understand true creation, which I know a lot of you don't, and we're just now really getting into the depths of it. Because it's what we've been learning over here. Every time you create something new and powerful, you go, oh my gosh, I created that, but I didn't mean it to be used like that. What we have witnessed is a human race is just that for the past 8 years. While you were being cooked in a system. You didn't realize that every move they were making, we were making from an opposite side. Martha Vineyard, the floating cook, that was me. Now, it gets really in depth, how it all came to pass in my world because of who I was and adopted and what family lines that I had to clean, and who I ended up in the middle of two families that were holding briefcases on this thing down here in Texas. But Texas was the problem because Texas was in partnership with California, and the beings that were running this out of California were running Texas DNA down here, and you can just basically say this is the first time that a Texan freaking beat their ass, and we did. Now, I love California. It ain't got nothing to do with California. It has to do with what California was gated in order to do, and how they were human harvesting the entire freaking world to do it. And it's one thing whenever the entertainment's involved. But when you start mixing entertainers and dictators, then we got a big old table party. And it's upside down. So I'll just remind everybody that the Israel seeds were here. The Israel seeds went through every single bit of trauma that every single faction put on us, and we kept it together, and it only needed one to make it to Speaka. It's in the freaking Bible. The Bible is a cosmic story. I ain't saying believe all of it, but it's still what it is. It's astronomy. It's numbers. It's how many templates are supposed to be down here at the end of days. It's the family names. It's all of it, because every single bit of what's happening right now happened with intention for a specific reason. For 3 years, it took me about 3 years to take down the protection And even, you don't realize, you think that whenever you call in protection, that I don't know what you think. When you call it in, or you build a wall or whatever, you put a ball around you build a ladder over your house energetically. I mean, I don't know how you're using your mind space. I just want to remind everybody that all that stays up until you take it down. All of it. And all this was a whole bunch of intention over long periods of time. Why? Because the human race forgot about long periods of time. And it's really not your fault, because it was forgotten for you, but it is your fault if you don't understand that this is an evolutionary process. We're in it together. This is the human race we're talking about. I just saw a video that really ticked me off. It was an African American man. Nothing against African American people, because if you know my story, you know I'm a quatra in a lot of ways, and all of us are. And he was talking about H.B. Blavatsky. Number one, you shouldn't be talking about some shit that you don't understand. Number two, he's trying to tell everybody that she was in with all these root race stuff. It's root race, and making the root race a black and white thing. How ignorant do you have to be? No, we're talking about root races since the existence of the human race. We're talking about root races and how the first human was made. We're talking about the first humans that were mixed with different animals, which is all freaking true. And do you know how long it took for a human template that we call our body to actually take shape and become a template down here that produces other humans that look like us? You take it for granted. You almost lost it. Now, I'm not yelling at you to tell you, to yell at you. I'm passionate about this because, the fact that we're right here right now and where we're still at is, number one, the fact that my team is still having to somewhat stay hidden right now should tell you something. Because it's already been done. The Virgo body that everybody's just been walking on, and you had an atmosphere, and you had RH negatives that were cleaning your DNA, you had RH negatives that were holding your space, now you're having to be RH negative. We're way past indigo. Indigo is 6 empty houses. We all showed up in the 70s. Everybody's just finding out about it. Now, I'm happy about that because, okay, they're making movies and I'm watching children that are 8 years old in 2025 that are on movies that are explaining to the world what we were back in the 70s. And when we got here, it's when you got what? Tech. A microwave, a camcorder, a camera, a VCR, CDs. Then it became DOS. Then you got Fortran. All of us coming in and your Generation X brought that in. It is what it is. There's no dispute. It doesn't make anybody better or not. But my God, give some elders some damn respect. You think you know it all? Okay, well, all of y'all, most of what is it, Gen Z? What's the one that comes right after? What's the ones that are born 1999, year 2000, year 2001? They're all in their 20s now. You go ask them if they thought or ever had a dream that they would never graduate from college, that they was all gonna die. I bet you 90% of them tell you that is true. Do you know why? Because they were a bonsai mission. Bonsai. The fact that Generation X pulled off what we pulled off in the middle of this is the reason that they're even still alive. It's why they also have such a psyche about it and think that they know everything now. Now, they can make some serious cash on the internet. That is for real. But when it comes to anything else, They got some issues. The one underneath that, they got gifts too. But I mean, y'all, this is how it works. We got to work together or not. You're going to have to learn no matter. You can learn this lifetime, or you can learn a million years from now when this gate opens back up and the next army comes in to blow a hole in 13 levels of galaxies in order to get you out of a dome. You're talking to the ones who did it. We're over here teaching you guys how to work together day by day. Now, I've been telling my team this because we started this May 19th. We're on week 5. We're all in the middle of a massive change right now. Because 5 is change. So we're on week 5. We're in massive change. But May 19th to August 31st, I'll say it again. All of that would have happened all at once if we wouldn't have caught this 2 years ago and made a bridge. You know that Hopi prophecy that everybody wants to freaking talk about, but nobody can accept is here? It was government made, but it was a real thing. So was the Christ program. Government made, but it was still a real thing. Oh, highly real. To the point that everybody lost control of the experiment, is what you want to say. Because those of us that were all in it, blew the doors off of it, got out. Now, they stopped being able to control it a long time ago. All they can do is try to cover it up. We're fighting for you. We're holding $60 billion in an account somewhere. We have tons of money. If you're one of us, so do you have a whole bunch of fake accounts under different names that are holding inheritances that you want, right? Why are you yelling at us? Did you know that just one of us proving and gaining changes the whole thing? Do you know that? Just one of us. Now, I said all that because I just had to get it off my chest. Thank you for listening. I've been, but I'm an AB negative, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Tomorrow, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to show you the physics of ABC, because trust me, it ain't just old MacDonald had a farm, and it ain't just no ABC. And in fact, ABC 1, 2, 3 is the reason SpaceX 36 went kabooey. Because when you don't understand how these energies carve in space, because it is what it is, it's a Babylonian frequency. Everything down here is energy. Everything. Everything. And on a 3D day, and this week, it's real hard to lift up out of it. You're in it. When you're in it, you can't see above it. You're in it. You have no room to lift up your head and look down and go, oh my gosh. So when it's 3D days, and y'all mark week 5 for next year, because I tell you what this week is showing you, where you're gonna land in not king, queen, emperor, empress. And it don't mean that you ain't gonna get there. It usually means this is the time when these 3D days all link together like this. You got to be extra, because you're seeing all the moves. You're seeing the distortion around you. It's being shown to you. There ain't much you can do about it in the moment. You can call it out. That's what ends up going into a 4D day. When you got a string of 3D, you're calling it out, you're calling it out, you're calling it out, you're calling it out. You're like, oh my God, there's my brand. Oh my gosh, there's my barcodes in the studio. Oh my gosh, there's my book. Oh my gosh, why is he trying to do this? Oh my gosh, that's my song. Oh my gosh, I mean, it's been all nonstop, hasn't it? And in the middle of it is a whole bunch of orange. Who's on the wash? Who was on the wash? Whole bunch of orange? Whole bunch of orange fire. Whole bunch. I had no idea when I wrote this last week in the physical. But we see it. You know things that you can't describe. You see it before it happens. Your abilities are turned on. And when you're in 3D days, you're playing out the work you've already done. If you haven't been doing if you haven't been doing any work, if you haven't been on your journey at all, you're going to be lost on 3D days. Good news. Tomorrow's 4D. But then it's going to go back to 3. Monday, you got another 4D day. Then guess what? Next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this energy right here, 050, what started this whole thing, May 19th. This energy right here. We got 3 days of it next week. I'm just warning you. That psychedelic crow. This week we're in Spotted Bunny. Guess what this week's been all about? Birthing cycles, cellular egg reproductive cycles. Mars going into Virgo has been nothing but reproductive, nothing but how babies are made, and they ain't made how you think they're made only. It's way more complicated than that. And your child doesn't come in alone in a generation. No, those energies and those eggs are kind of all up in space, and then it depends on the frequency of your frequency you're at and the frequency of who you're with whenever you bang shikadonda, and then what energy then is going to pull in that child. Do you know that? I didn't. I would have chose differently if I did. Would you? Not to mention that the hybridization, what was going on out there in order to make certain children down here, with the entire moon cycle that runs every single woman's productive system down here. It's been all about hybridization. It's all about being orphan farms. It's the Tartarian orphans and those lines because you're put in a family for a reason, no good, no bad. It's you cleaned it up. If the family, the family lines that have just dismissed us, they're in for deep, deep trouble. Because we cleaned your line. You have no connection. You don't bring us back into the family. You don't want to talk to us because you say that we're the black sheep, but you're the one who was just keeping an old record going, and you chose to freaking sacrifice us because we didn't fit into your family. Well, ding dong, baby cakes. The witch is dead, and that's the reason that we were in your line to clean it up. You want to blame us for that? We were here to clean up your crap. It's now about us. It ain't about the family lines. We're going to live our damn life, but I'm just telling everybody, if you have family members that you shot away because you thought they were a little crazy, well, you're talking to some of the Hess line that came out of what you'd consider the royal lines, that's what they did. They put us in crazy places, but they had us evolving the evolution. They knew exactly why we were doing what we were doing. Our family lines ended up forming a line that took them over because by the end of days, they had sacrificed everybody. That's what your angels are. We met each other in sacrifice. Oh, there you are. Is that you as an infant? Yeah, what's up? Oh, well, get in my belly. Come on. Let's ride back down and show him some stuff. And if you think I'm lying, better think again. Because I can promise you that fact is way crazier on earth than any fiction you could ever make up. It's how this works. Whenever you walk it, you see it. You live through it. You experience it. Why? So you can teach the rest of them. This is ancient information that all came out. We capture it now. We train now. This information will never come out like this again. You'll never, ever, 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 ever in the human race have another chance to clear off your 33 stuff and turn it and transmute it into a 44 higher energy. Never, ever, ever. Next time we do this, it's going to be totally different. And it'll be about 1 million years from now. Which, if you don't get on board, you're going a million years. Your soul, you're going to have sacrifice lifetimes. You're going to have, you don't even want to know. So it is what it is. Oh my, oh my. So I want to talk about the bloodlines, because this was one of the first things that we solved, and those of us who walked this path, we knew that we had to change and clean the blood, and it started really 2021 during Lionsgate. Now, the reason that we had to change the blood is because everybody wouldn't stop sacrificing themselves. Everybody wouldn't stop doing the rituals. Everybody just kept doing what they's doing in Africa. Those crazy bee people, the hoodoo, the voodoo, whatever. And whatever you're doing with any type of blood or blood magic, or if you think that you're just doing it for what, if you're mixing any semen, if you're mixing any urine, if you're mixing any blood, you're mixing way more than you ever thought. And this is what lessons everyone's having to learn right now. Because it's happening on a massive scale, that these people who were even doing these little things and they's just dabbling in it, if you's just dabbling in it, there's an energy that's tapping into it, mixing it together with a whole bunch of others and bringing on a force. And that's what you weren't prepared for. When the ones that were doing the actual magic and the actual things, how are we going to stop them? We don't take people out. We're not like them. We give you your choice. Down to the bitter end. We don't control you. We're not going to tell you what to do. They hate us for that. They're used to it. Go out your door and turn right, and then go talk to the person in the blue shirt, and I'll give you $50. Okay. And then they go do it. They love it. You got to make up your own mind. You got to do your own thing. Why? We clean the blood. Blood's been being changed down here for a really long time. They tell us that these are the blood types, and I think I might have to mirror this. Hold on. Is that correct? Is did I do that right? Is that reading correctly? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. It's backwards for me, so if I get all again, the mirror. Tech isn't even really sure what to mirror right now. Tech is even confused energetically. They tell us that these are the blood types. Right? BOA. We were living in a snake. Snake eats its tail. It makes a wheel. It's only this big of the snake, by the way. I put out that video. Like, the whole zodiac wheel is like this big in Alpha Draconic, which is where I came from. In the end. Because I was bound up there. So was everybody who was considered to be 13th family. In a little hole. Makes a peacock. Peacock, 20 degrees Capricorn, where Saturn and Pluto landed in 2020. When did our shit begin? When do you have to start wearing a mask to the bank, but the guard doesn't have one on? Just the people going into the bank? Was that not the most bizarre thing you've ever lived through? Okay, you want me to put a mask on to go in the bank? But you're the guard, you don't have a mask on. So you want me to dress like a bank robber to go in the bank? So what? So later on, they can run the timeline and CGI someone's face? Yeah. Peacock. This is also Bank of America. And I'll just write it on here. I don't even have to say it. Okay. So, you have A, you have B, and you have O. Well, first of all, there's a whole bunch of different ones that were made from this. The science on this is insane. The physics on it is insane. I only know 5% probably of everything, of what all they were doing and mixing and making. It's I mean, to the point now that China's saying that they have blood and it doesn't have any human. Okay, then what's your mother? AI? Yeah. Well, I can promise you don't want AI mom. You're going to end up with Ghislaine Maxwell or Michelle Lemmy. Because AI is not going to be your mom. They're going to give you a mom. They're going to give you one that's going to have rule over your life. That's how it worked. So you've got A, you've got B, you've got O, and then you've got this thing called AB. Okay? And this is in AB. AB is less than 1% of the population. I think maybe, don't get me wrong, quoting on the years, but it became, can I ask you a question, please? Yeah. I'm doing a training video, though, so I really hope that it's appropriate. ABO, AB, and then a null came along. Null. Null is what they wanted to turn all the AB negatives to. Null has no human connections at all. Null is AI blood made in a machine. Null is what they tried to turn all the AB negatives to so that we couldn't come deliver this information to you. Now, A blood. Let's start with A. Because I want to show y'all A blood. First of all, it's A. A is not 1. A is 3. 1, 2, 3. A is 3. But it's not 3. It's 3 ones. It's 3 ones that make a charge. But 3 ones only make lanes. I can turn it this way. I can turn it this way. But I'm still going to have 3 1 charges. It's going to make lanes. It's going to make latitude, longitude. It's going to make lanes. A blood has receptors. These receptors, let's just say for this case, because this is not appropriate in physics, but I'm using the circles as a way to denote. A makes these circles. So when you have A blood, you make these circles. These are receptors. You're picking this is your intuition. Now with an A, these receptors are animalistic. Why? You're in a grid with all the other A's. It has to do with your body. It's a gut instinct. People who have A think that they don't have intuition because you think that you're not seeing things. You think that, oh, these people see things and they're having visions and so I don't have any powers. Wrong. You're just picking them up different. You're picking up a gut instinct. You know when to run. You know when it's about to rain. You know whenever you're in fear. You know when something's about to go down. You trust your instinct. You're connected to everybody on the planet at the same time. And the animals. Your body is very agile. You can move on a dime. You have like Matrix freaking abilities like, oh, did you just throw that basketball? Oh, you just did it again. Oh, okay, motherfucker, I'm going to hit you in the face now. A. Now, here's the deal. A's got these little circle receptors, right? Okay, well, do you know what it doesn't like? B. It hates B. It don't like B. It don't mix with B. A sending out all these little receptors and it's pulling up. It's like your body, your etheric, because you're in a big old etheric body, like I just talked about with Virgo. You're in a big etheric body when you have A blood. You're sending out little signals. You're like, okay, am I cool? Okay, is it cool? Okay, wait, move to the left. Okay, I got it. Okay, no. Now remember, everybody's working together. Everybody's working together. So this is all A on the planet. So that's one frequency band, A. Okay? Now, here's the problem. B, well, we got all kinds of 5 different sideways about B. B, B, and just to end the A story for a second, the A negatives were the first to go AI. Unfortunately. because of the animals, what was happening down here, it was done. Now, in this last round, in the past 9 years, that's what they were coming after, is the B. We knew that. If you were in the spiritual community, you knew that they were coming after the Eve line. You knew that they were coming after the Eve gene. Well, the Eve gene was in B. Okay? Now, B, here's another little freaking thing about B. If you were on BAMA week 1, whenever we did the 33 phonetics, what's B? 2. On the 44 phonetics, what's B? 3. $33, it's 2. A, B, C. 44, it's 3. A, C, B. Why? A, C. There's a million ways to do it, but it's also A, C, B. What you're dealing with is cancer, and I can't do it when I'm doing flat. So it really goes A, C, B. B's going into your mind. B is all about mental. B is serious B. 12 to 16 degrees of Cancer. Going directly to Capricorn. It's going to the collective's mind. Not your brain. Your mind. B, change frequency. Did you get the memo? Did you get the memo? Change frequency a long time ago. They've been running these 44 codes for a really long time. Bellatrix, this is all Masonic stuff. Did you get the memo? Did you get the memo that you certainly turned into 369, not 2? By the way, 2 is the feminine number. 2 is the only number that creates. 2 is feminine. Why? Because when it mirrors, what's that? If I do a 2, because everything down here mirrors. Oh, that's a horrible. That's 52. What's that? That starts a Fibonacci sequence. 2 is the feminine. 2 is organic. You got plants, you got fruit, you got people, you got insects, you got animals, you got anything that creates an organic is going to have a 2 in it. Has to have a 2. Would everybody go 3? 3 is okay. 3, 6, 9. Duplicate, start over. 3, 6, 9. Duplicate, start over. Feminine's like, what are you talking about? Like, you want to move me around? Like, what am I here to make? What am I here to build? Mind you, that's what we're supposed to be doing. It's what the feminine does. Feminine builds your atmosphere. Feminine is your oxygen. This is why SpaceX went boom shakalaka with some liquid oxygen. It's a big deal. Oxygen. A lot of people aren't even used to breathing oxygen. They've been on 369. They hadn't been creating their own oxygen, especially if they're in the Asia, China, Taiwan, any of the Asian communities, lots of bees. I'm not coming out at you. I'm trying to help you. I ain't blaming you. I'm just telling you. I ain't making this crap up. It is what the hell it is. Faster everybody gets that, the easier this whole thing will be. Now, B, blood, makes little thingies. But they're a different shape. And these little guys hate hate A. The circles and the squares don't get along at all. I mean, you can basically, like, put the two I countries, like, it's like putting the two I countries in a box right now. They don't like each other. They don't like each other at all. Saudi Arabia, A's. From it. Kind of. Then it went gray. A-neg. Right? What'd I say? A-neg got took over first. B is all about the mind. Mary Magdalene is the mind. Eve is the mind. That whole term, look at the big brain on Brad. Well, Brad didn't have it, but there is a big brain. Basically, it's the top half of your wheel. People who have Libra in the higher decans get this. Whenever you have higher decan, when you have higher house If you've got a whole bunch of energy in Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Scorpio, Libra, then if you got a whole bunch in there, you get the mind. It's the A that you got a problem with. You're like, I wrote that. Why are they reacting like that? Because they're A's and they're dealing with the animal instinct and the mind and the body. Everything went 3, and just to remind you, everything went 3, 6, 9. So like, you can't even blame the chicas on this. Now these guys don't like the A, okay? So that's what builds the mind. That's what creates evolution. That's what creates solutions. Because you got to figure it out. It's like right now, my puppy dog has a problem, and they did do some stuff to my spine, and so his C3 is not sending signals to his hands. It's really bad, and he can't walk, and it's gonna get bad really quick. I keep praying every day, and he's lasted 6 months longer than I thought he would. So but this is what this is. The charge to the brain going to the body. He ain't getting it. He's not, his brain's not telling his foot to pick up. He don't even know that it's turned over. We're watching him going, oh my God. He's like losing, his legs are stretching out and he's laying on the ground. He's fine. He's like, I don't even know what's going on. And we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. How do you think we feel watching the humans get this done to them? Way worse than what I just said about my dog. Now, your B is your mind. So this has to do with technology. This is all the technical stuff. All of it. You're using a B mind. This is why, a lot of the A beings, they don't just show me how to do it. They don't want to delve into it, especially the older generations. This is why. It's too much into the B. Even for the bees. This is also why King Louis loved the bees, and there's a whole thing with the bees on that of how this bee line started. This bee line started way back when with the ones who were doing the Gnostic alchemy backwards, and literally they had a whole bunch of beehives that were labeled with human DNA codes, and they stuck them in whatever they call them. And even the whole thing with Elizabeth and Mary Queen of Scots was them doing exactly what I just said and putting 2 queen bees in one hive and letting them fight it out. And that's how the world reacted. I'm not kidding. This is like, what's Ninaru? It's like that type stuff. Oh, wake up and make the clay people because all your people are fighting. Like, that's a real thing. It's just that your Diddy's and Jay-Z's and Beyonce's of the world and all that crazy mess and the Groves and all this mess basically took over the Gnostics, and they's just doing what they wanted to do to everybody. I mean, this was the end of days. They've been waiting for 2,000 years to fully take control and like spin out their mission. But, again, how things were done way back when and why they were done way back when ain't how they were being done at the end. That's why I always say at the end of days, because at the end of days everything was jacked. It ain't why it was being done in the first place. It's totally different. You can't take the end of days and stick it into the entire freaking history and say, I know why it happened. No, you don't. You're supposed to remember why did they do that so that you can create another way to do it that doesn't hurt people. You're supposed to be undoing magic right now from your family line, saving your family lines. That's why you're being shown the magic, to undo it, not to do it again. If you do it again, then you become the sacrifice. Because you're here, you've had the, anyway. So your B's are all mental. It's Eve. It's going to be all about the mind. They're not as active in the physical. Not all of them. Now I'm not stereotyping. I'm just giving you the B energy. And remember, it did shift from one frequency to another. Okay? Let's talk about AB, because what's going on? Let's talk about AB. I want me to do that little puzzle. Yes, I'm human. I know it's hard to believe. I'm in your quantum machine. I'm the big brain on your AI with the rest of the collective. Yeah, we know some shit that you don't. AB. I'm going to switch markers on this one. When you're an AB, you've had the hardest time. AB positives can't even fathom that an AB negative has it worse than them, because your whole life has been a contradictory. You're dealing with both sides. They're in your body and they're attacking you from the inside out. Your B is being forced to understand your A. Your A is being forced to explain your B. Literally. And it's an internal struggle that plays out in your reality because you're at the end of the game. Per the blood wars. Per the blood game that we had to blow. That's why we had to change blood. Okay? AB is golden mean. When we talk about 0 point and the golden mean, and we talk about the human race hitting an AB negative golden mean, what we mean, whenever you hear scientists and you hear Gnostics or anyone in the spiritual community saying this time's going to be different because the human race has 0 point, it's because of your AB negatives. Yahshua was an AB negative. He wasn't the first and he wasn't the last. It's the lines and how they work. This is why you're over the entire line of A. You got the entire. It's like United States and France, North America and South America, North America and South America against Africa and Russia and the whole rest. I mean, and it is that big, because that's what's playing out around you. Because it's playing out through you when you're a negative. When you're a positive, it's happening to you too, but you're not getting like the RH negative cosmic space thrust. You're not getting injected into artificial intelligence. You're not getting like because you didn't have the negative. The RH negative in it makes a golden mean frequency. We call this plasma. O negative is the universal what? Blood donor. Blood. AB negative is a universal plasma donor. Marrow. Inside your bones. Older. Why? Because AB's been fighting this the whole time. Basically what happens with A is that all the A's go into processing. It's going to make one little drip. The best of whatever it is. B is going to go into processing and it's going to be a little drip. The best of the best, whatever it is. And if one of these beings shows up in your family line, or if you have an AB negative in your family line, I don't care how it got there. Your family line was set to evolve. When an AB negative shows up in a family line, even by marriage to an extent, but for sure adopted children, When an AB negative shows up in your family line, the whole thing needs to be cleaned up. AB negative's there to do it. All the black magic, all the religion, all the whatever. It's usually tied to religion. It's usually tied to countries and being a part of their army or for a country or whatever. It was all your presidents because we weren't really here. AB negatives, we weren't really here. We were a projection from the collective. That's why whenever AB negative shows up, oh shit, you best just go talk to them and say, what do you think? What do you think we should do? They're going to tell you. You need to listen, because energetically their whole lives have been there to clean it up. That's why they were sent to the family, not as a punishment, to assist. So you can't ignore it. or else the whole family's gonna, I mean, they might get out, they might not. Also, AB negatives typically before this time, when you met one, you probably want to run. I know, because I went war with them. I was shocked as shit myself, because I wasn't like that, you know. So I thought whenever I met another AB negative, everybody was like me. Everybody was on my side. No, Nelly. That was exactly not the truth. No. This is what your farm, baby farming and all that. All that's to make these guys right here. So that you can form plasma bonds and control mass human energy and mass humans by putting some bees in a box or freaking making some little clay puppets. See, me, I'm like, screw all that. Like, this whole time I knew what power we had. I knew that we were giving it back to the human race, because that's evolution. It actually ends up making you more powerful when you do it that way. It really does. You just have to keep your heart pure, which is really damn hard when you have a lot of power. So when you have a lot of power and you're not used to holding it, you're... Oh my God. I have tea tree oil in my hair right now. It's a whole nother thing about washing my hair and the spells out. Like, that's another example. I'm AB negative, so I hold golden mean. So when I'm clearing through spells or walking through collective spells, I can't wash my hair until I'm done. Whenever I'm done and I know I can wash my hair, I know I'm done cleaning it. I haven't washed it since I got back from Tucumcari. We're almost there. I've had to go 13 days before, but that was during the cooking. Should tell you what time it is. AB negative got both. We got the little round things. We got the little square things. And that's why we got SpongeBob SquarePants. And that's why we got Simpsons with the donuts. And that's why we're going loop-de-loops on our streets and our little roundabouts. But that's what AB is. You're having to balance everything. Your life is either really, 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 really great and everyone's jealous of you, and or it's really, 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 really bad and you're in the dirt and everyone's walking on you. There's no in between. But only a master soul can even hold that. A lot of life path 11s. All right. Now, let's talk about O. And then I'm going to tell you the good news. So what we got so far, we got A, which is 111. Then we got B, which can flip from a 2 to a 3 and 3 to a 2. Okay, it's also good to know because you can flip in sequence. Just realize you're doing that. You can go into creator mode. You can go into survival mode. We all familiar with that, right? Okay. So, O, you aren't going to like it. You aren't going to like what I have to say. 85% of the human race is O. Okay? O negative, you're the watchers. You're the watchers. O negative is the watchers. What does that mean? O negatives were the negatives, not the O positives. The O negatives. The O negatives were basically out there in RH negative space watching the A's and B's go crazy. Literally. They's watching the A's and B's. They's watching they were watching what the B's were turning the A's into in space, is a better way to put it. And they were connected into the entire human race because H is a hybridized bloodline. It's hybridized. It's made. No receptors. No receptors. None. Slick Willie. Why? Because they wanted us to go in a circle just like this. And this is exactly what O blood does. And okay, let's talk. O is 6. Hadn't changed. O is 6. Hasn't changed. F has changed. X has changed. The other 6s in the phonetic, both of those have changed. X don't even exist in the 44 anymore because they abused it so much. Because it was the moon. To give you an idea. of another 6 frequency. Fox was a 6 frequency. FOX was 6 in the 33. Okay, well, in the 44, O is the only one who remains 6. F is 44. X is a wild card. X is how good can you control F and O? Then you get X. That's why it's SpaceX. That's why I went boom. That's why Twitter went from a bird, which is a har, which is a super soldier, to an X. It's also why it's Generation X. Okay? Back from the future, basically. But, oh, blood. And look, there ain't nothing. I just please notice that this, just listen. O blood works together in a frequency of flow. 6 is flow. 6 is a wave. Okay, so all 85% of the world that's at O blood is getting tuned by gamma beta. Boom, 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 boom. That's why all the rap music. Do you have anybody in your neighborhood that drives through your neighborhood and blares freaking rap music? Usually, whenever you're channeling something or meditating, they're getting paid to do it. They're getting paid to do it somehow. They're doing it in order to boom, boom, boom the frequency because you think that nobody knows you're in there meditating. Oh, but you can see if your energy is getting really high. You can see it. They send runners and so boom, 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 and then O doesn't want to do anything new. Now it's not your fault. You get punished for it. You get punished for being an AB. You've watched them treat ABs this way. You ain't gonna do. I want my friends. I need my friends. I need my family. I can't talk about it now. I get it. You might not say anything. You might not call them out. You might not be the one to open your mouth and yell. But you ain't gonna defend them either. You've been trained not to. You've been trained not to defend them because if you defend them, then it comes back on you just as bad or worse. This is why. Okay? So, where do you get your consciousness? AB. Goes directly to the AB negative line. That's where you're getting your consciousness. That's the good news. But it's also for the AB, that's bad news. Because if you're the AB and you're like, the A's are up to this, and you're like, what are you talking about? I don't even know that I'm on the A team. Remember the A team? Remember with the big gold chain? All of it's cosmic. All of it. You're like, what? There's a fight going on with A? You're like, yeah, A and B are up there fighting in space, and the O's are like, fuck you, let's go to the ball game. You're like, I'd love to just go to the ball game, but you know that they do human harvesting there, so before we show up, we have to do this and this. And everybody's like, well, then I'm not going with you if you're not going to at least call that in, because then you're going to be utilized, and I'm bringing up the entire frequency of the place, so they could actually take us over and freaking light us out of here at the energy gate I'm at right now. So, my son's an O. I almost died. I'm an AB negative, and I had my son's an O positive, and I had to bring him in. And I was pumped with liquid mercury for 4 days to make him. Liquid mercury. He was 5 weeks early. And he came from another dimension. And when he got here, the entire real estate market tanked in 2008. You'd call him like a Horus. I turned green. I knew I had to make him. I did not have a choice. Even the family line he came from, I chose them on purpose. Why I'm not married anymore. Had the child got out. Every single one of us that were in Generation X that were on this, we had to do that to bring in the line. Because if we wouldn't have done that, then more people would have died because you wouldn't have had a connection. Most of the children that are born from Generation Xers are basically links and DNA links that kept massive amount of people alive because of who we were on the dark side that y'all didn't know, what you'd consider outside of the dome, the cosmic history. because y'all only know Earth history. Cosmic history, way bigger. Cosmic history, like, you can't even take in 4 years. Cosmic history, you start learning day 1. And by the way, this is taught in kindergarten, like phonetics and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I'm only at, like, elementary level over here. On the ground at this point, guys, what am I, like 6 or 7? In one state. In another state, I'm like brand new coming in with all of this. Just like the new star seeds that are showing up that have all this knowledge. So the AB negative was always the consciousness for the entire collective. So then you start realizing why I command what I do. Now you understand what I do. Now you understand why I'm over here teaching. Right? Because and just so you know, we did get back in the like it was August 2023. It happened in New Orleans, and the whole downtown was working with me. Because it was all starting to replay. I even had to go toe-to-toe with a dude with a goat leg, and I ain't shitting you. Because it was printing from the past. It's showing you, because you're all walking in Vesca Pisces, so it's showing, and the more Venus energy you have, the more you print it right in front of you. I have 6 planets in Libra. I'm basically a recorder angel. There's a whole bunch of us down here, but that's a good way to call it. We were recorders. We were also made to send into situations to find out who done it. Okay, so AB negative is what the O was talking to this whole time. But AB negative's going, go right, go right, go right. And by the time it gets all the way around, which way do y'all go? Left. I don't know. We went left last time. We went left every single time. We went left since the day I was born. In our entire family line, we always have gone left. And you're like, okay, well, if you can go left, then I'm not. You can go left. I'm not going left. I'm gonna go right. I know what's gonna happen when you go left. You know what's gonna happen when you go left. Why are you over here having to make the decision again? If you would have made the right decision the right time, right, then you wouldn't be back here having to make the decision again. You're going to loop back around, man. No. Don't listen to her. She's just a little woman. Don't listen to her. She's a girl. Don't listen. Which, by the way, the girls are channeling all of this. This is why they don't want you to freaking... That's why they don't listen. Because they want you to go left. Back into their pool. Which, by the way, has a hole in it now. Because of what I'm fixing to tell you. So this is 85% of the population. Now, when we talk about RH negatives and AB negatives and all that mess, all it was how O was made to begin with. We talk about 100 beings that were the volunteers that everybody just wanted to forget about. You call it Gaia, Terra. You want to get mad at Anana because she put Dimitri in the planet. Well, it's his damn turn. When you're in our family line, that's why twins were kept apart. One of us was always in the planet. Wasn't because we were on opposite sides of the world with karmics. No, we's in the planet. Literally. It's kind of his turn. And by the way, we could have stepped out together, but since you want to attack, now you're going to have to go in the planet because you're going to have to learn, because you just stole all the energy of the planet and we're not going back in to make it. Energy has to be returned. You took it. You got to go into the planet. Well, that's one way to get him back in there. He's in there right now. He ain't even nailed in. All he has to do is admit what he did. All he has to do is fix it. He ain't going to. Let's see if he does it. He's sitting there screaming, "Ah, get me out of hell! Get me out of hell!" And we're like, say you're sorry. No! Okay. Well, you're not even nailed in, man. I just spit everywhere. Your own energy's keeping you there. You have 100, you have 1,000. Each 1,000 has what? Each one of these 1,000 has 12 higher selves that run in a strand like a pearl necklace. This is why this is why I've been wearing the pearl necklaces. You wanted to know, now I'm telling you. This is also why they bead the bracelet. I mean, there's hidden intention in a lot of your jewelry and, well, you know, especially at the end of days. It also is why we did add beads in the 80s. You did the little add beads. You like added a bead. And if you had a whole necklace, oh my God, you had a whole necklace with gold ones? Holy crap, you were rich. Did your mama drive a Cadillac Seville? Okay. A whole bunch of beads on a necklace. Well, that's 12 higher selves. Then guess what? It goes another level. These 12 higher selves all have 12 higher selves. All connected. Feel every single one of them. All making the same decisions you are. If you make it through ascension and you prove to be one of these 1,000, guess what? These guys follow you. What are you doing? I tell you what, this right here made me stop pretty much everything that I even was questionable if I should be doing. Especially with who I should be dating. Because I took this real to heart maternally, because I knew what we were dealt with. I knew what they had coming from us. I knew we never had any decent men in our lives. None of us did. For all you good men out there, I just want you to know there's a whole group of us angels who have been basically under house arrest by a bunch of gypsies and barbarians our entire freaking life. And we are the most amazing women and muses. We're muses. We're most amazing muses in the world. We've never had love. Never. They bred us to give it to them. But we learned how to make a whole lot of shit out of hate. We learned to make a whole lot of stuff out of trauma. We learned how to make a whole lot of love and a whole lot of everything out of everything, which is the reason we were down there. But we weren't down there to be treated like that to the end of days and then another 1,000,000 years, which is what Saudi Arabia wants. And then they want to come make us all their wives, lock up all our men. I'm sorry, you've already done that. What are you talking about? We just got everybody out from the first time you did it. What, you're going to come do it again? No. I'm Arxiad, by the way. I'm Arxiad in Ming Dynasty. I found out finally. When everybody was like, how are you doing this? In my head, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it was a whole process. So these 12 higher selves, this is why. And when you're conscious, that's what we mean by being conscious. When you're conscious, you are conscious for the entire line. And it's all happening in real time at the same time. When do you get hit by a car? Could happen to anyone in the line. One of you might get, this is also how they pulled off 9/11. This is how they pull off a lot of their stuff. Like, this is how they got away with it. Because you have this one at the park. You have this one in Arlington. You have this one on the road in New York on the way to a dentist appointment. You've got this one in surgery. And none of these guys know each other. Then it's real easy to maneuver this whole arm. You mean Mars? So here's the good news. When I said, and then we're going to end this, and this is week 5. And there is a reason this is called BAMA. And there is a reason we just talked about O. Here's the good news. Everybody's getting their pieces back. This is what's happening. We activated everybody's recessive genes. I don't care if you're O. I don't care if you're A. I don't care if you're B. And if you're AB, you're going through the biggest change. O, you're getting your receptors back. But you got to grow your own. It's not, you got to grow them from here. and they're growing, you're picking them up. This is your dreams, the intuition, the spiritual stuff, the stuff that you don't want to tell any of your friends because they're going to accuse you of being crazy. That's when you need to find a group like ours and come talk about it. I can't, every single one of y'all are like, you're not going to believe this. Trust me, I believe everything you... Try me. You're not going to believe what I tell you, how many other people have told me exactly what you're telling me. You're really going to blow your mind when I tell you why and I show you a link to it. Then you're going to be like, holy shit. I'm like, I own you. So... you're having to grow back your receptors, but just like an infant and like a child. Do you know, we walked this whole thing and this is really sick. But it is what it is. It's how it was made. Do you know why we see magic like a child? Because we were killed as a child. 2021, the children at the houses I were at were drawing escape routes and stuff for me. They were like so tuned into the consciousness because we rebirthed. So we're really closer to the children than we were the adults. We were in the children's consciousness. We see pure spirit because we just see it as a child. We have no other, there's no other thing to even, but that's why you have to go back to that. But you have to remember how to do that and to feel that. And the only way to do that in the beginning for a bunch of you O's is you got to isolate yourself a little bit. You have to. Not forever. Not forever. Not forever. Not even for long, long periods of time. But you have to stay out of the group for a minute if you're going to lead your people, if you're going to lead your group, because you have to develop these abilities, and you've got to learn to trust it. You have the abilities. It's turned on more than you realize. It's trusting it. Now, when I tell you that my A negs and my B negs and my AB negs are still getting that part, would it make you feel better? Would it? Because they are. Like we're like, you realize that we just have, all of us have just now, and at least some of us in each line, which means you have too. Because once it's done in the line, it's purified. But we're just there. Those of us at the heads of these lines and these bloodlines are just now to the point where we don't have 60 fucking people between here and there, freaking paper clipped in an eclipse and running messages and trying to frame us. And by the way, they's trying to frame us for everything. Everything. We had to clear 200 cases in the future, literally. That's how they've been getting away with it this whole time. So you have to isolate a little bit, because you have to get in the first one. That's probably, it just depends on you. If your gut instinct comes back first, it should tell you something. If your visions and your mental come back first, that should tell you something. Because you were hybridized into that. Just like we's hybridized into AB neg. Shit, different story, same. Here's the thing with O, though. Once you get your shit together, you're powerful. I might be able to freaking move space, and I can do some crazy crap up there. You're damn correct. I'm freaking kind of a legend up in space. Down here, y'all don't know who the fuck I am, do you? Now that's going to change, but hear what I'm telling you. You have an immediate, as soon as you get out of line and you go right, guess what? At least 75% of them are going to follow you, because they know that they shouldn't go that way. The elders have been saying that. Everybody's talking to each other on the phone. They're sending texts to each other. It's in the group chat. Everybody's aware that the elders are making stupid-ass decisions. There's a whole bunch of gossip going on. It's the O's. Come on now. Everybody's talking about it. Somebody just has to stand up and freaking do it. And when you do, you alter and you move everybody to a new sequence, and then they're with you. It's powerful. That's why it's so scary. The other energy that has this is Pleiadians. Pleiadians, number 3, Pleiadians. Oh, God. They picked this up from the O's. Or maybe it was delivered down to the O's from the Pleiadians. I'm not sure yet. Chicken and egg. But Pleiadians, they don't want to rock the boat. They like their music contract. They like their little creator thing. They get to go to the studio. They get to drive in a limo. They don't give a fuck about anybody else as long as they get to have it. Different reason they're doing it, same thing. So if you're an A, your mental's coming on. You're having dreams. Same thing with the A's. By the way, the O's and the A's real close energetically. Real close. Now, I'll remind everybody that the O's have the consciousness of the AB neg, too. So they do have a balanced consciousness with the entire human race, with the balance of the A's and B's. So see, now we're going to get into the deficit of the A. The deficit of the A is you only have the A. You're not thinking about B. You're not thinking at all, usually, is the problem. Or you're thinking too much. Usually that's a B thing, but different reasons that you're up all night. Different reasons. Same thing, though. God, I do not miss those days. My mind just race. I never got any peace in the program. My mind was going 24/7. Somebody in my mind. It took me years to get to a state where I could control it and block it. Years. It's not something that you just do overnight. The A... You're going to be having more dreams. You're going to be seeing things. Now, usually this is going to be shadows. And to an A, they take it literal. And I understand, because there really just isn't a language for a lot of the B stuff. Because it's like, you say, I see it. But whenever we see it, we really don't see it. It's like, we see it. We see something. We got the message. But it's like whenever we say, oh my God, I see it, okay? And you're like, what is it? And you say, I just saw the red rooster, and the red rooster reminded me of the barn, and then the barn, da. So this is what it's linked to. Then to an A person who doesn't understand that, who's taking it literally, what you just said, because there is really no other words to explain it. They're thinking that in your mind, you just saw like a full-on picture of a red rooster, just like freaking on some type of cartoon or something. No. I'll tell you, like, here's an example. Whenever I'm in space, because my third eye's real high up there. I go up into space. Well, I used to go up all the time. Then I flew around for a while. But in the very beginning, whenever I'd go straight up there and we'd have to move things and deal with things back like in 2018. I don't see any color. First of all, nothing ever interacts with me. I'm always just there moving shit around. Even if there's people there, they don't talk to me. They back up, which is weird. Because I don't have much interaction in the ether at all. They're like, whoa, and I'm just kind of walking around by myself. I had to learn over a while that ain't normal. But I don't see, like, whenever I go up and I'm like, oh my God, I think I went through a wormhole. To me, in my mind, what I'm going to see is a bunch of grayscale. It's going to be really, really black, or it's going to be a shade lighter of gray. It's different shades of gray and black. And then, are they moving? Then what happens is there'll be a memory. And this is why we're doing this whole 8 week and through the end, because you have to build up an Akashic library of what this stuff means to you. Now, I'm an AB negative, so I have a lot of Akashic libraries that are already built up over this stuff that you would call little silly things like Spotted Bunny. But it is what Druidism and all that is like. It's like linking stories in with a word or an intention, just like pizza, umbrella. But we do it from well, it's not really positive or negative. It's just what the fuck happened before. It has information in it, and it's tuned to it. We're setting up a new one now. Lord knows what it'll be like at the end of days in a million years. They'll probably come and blame us for freaking setting it up and calling it spotted bunny and purple pig. But for now, this is the cleaner way. Do you following what I'm saying? So it's like whenever now that you have this whole week that we're doing spotted bunny, whenever you see a woman and her baby's getting taken away or something, or she's got a small baby, and then in your mind you see a spotted bunny, you're going to have a lot more information, aren't you? So whenever I talk about this, what you're doing is building up your right brain database so that your left brain can trigger it, because your neurons in your brain have been blocked. All it is that this guy there's your brain. These guys weren't talking. My life, man, I'm like going back and forth with plugging stuff in. I'm going to have to come off soon because everything's dying. Running out of charge. What's happening is this guy's firing, this guy's firing. Okay? Might get a headache. Might have some expansion. Might have some headaches. A's, definitely. You might have some headaches. B's, you might have more body issues, muscular issues, joint issues, things like that as this energy's coming in. A's definitely all about your brain, because you're getting all your brains back. You're getting your B back. Okay, so these guys are firing to each other when they meet right here. This guy's like purple pig, purple pig. This guy's like Russia, spider. Spies. Right? Same energy, same thing. One's coming from the left brain, one's coming from the right brain. It's like an emotional thing that you have in a little box over here. It's like this is my trauma associated to this. And guess what? There's a box there and it is full. Because why? We cleaned all the programs and it's all there. Now, when you trigger this box, remember, it's already happened. This is a big mistake. When you trigger this box, remember, it's already happened. Does it have to happen again? No, I hope not. The reason that it's there is to show you not to do it again. Okay? Same thing with B. But B, you're going to have more trouble like my Chihuahua. B, you're gonna need to like get it that your mind was in mind control, and if your mind was fully taken over, then your body was fully, because if you haven't claimed your body, then you're a lot of the B's the first thing that happens is your ribs right here. Y'all get this back pain right here when you first activated. Oh, God, it's like, what is going on? It's like, because you're not used to standing up. You're not used to holding yourself up. Energetically, you're not used to holding yourself up. I'm in the deep hood. No, it doesn't matter B or B again. B negative. Any RH negative just doesn't have the monkey gene. It means that you didn't have a space helmet on. If you were RH positive, you had a space helmet on, and your space helmet was inside of you're not breathing. You were in a monkey genome that was holding energy in a bubble so that you weren't having to process space. All your karma went to the B negs. All the karma from the A line went to the A negs. All the karma from the AB went to AB neg. That's why it'd be made presidents, baby. All the karma from O went to the O neg. That's why they were the watchers. Why? We had to come down here and clean up a shit ton of fucking karma really damn quick. So we had to make some RH negatives. Then everybody got used to it and thought it's just the way it's supposed to be. No. It's a handoff. You have to learn. So do the negatives. Nobody get a free pass. The thing is, whenever you're coming through ascension, you are an RH negative now. There's no dome. There's no dome. There's no matrix. See what I'm saying? That's why you need to listen to us. We know. It might sound a little quirky. Everything's ass backwards. Everything's ass back. I mean, I literally had a spinal 360 in 2011. My body was sawed in half. I picked up, turned around, and screwed back on just so I could figure this out. And don't even think I'm kidding. Everything is ass backwards of how everything works in the real manifestation. You don't work as hard. You shouldn't have to slave as hard. You get more done when you don't. But you got to get to a state that you can hold the space. When you're in RH positive, you can't hold shit. You're coming out of a monkey genome. That's why the animals are all jacked. You have to clear your space. You have to open up space. I don't care if you're RH negative or not. You're energetically, if that's the first step. When you say, oh, I just blew out of the matrix, you blew out of your positive genome. Welcome to the party. Now you're going to work in unison with the rest of them. That's why it's a yearly thing. That's why May 19th until September, we do it all together. We bridge together. There was no faster way to do it. If you jump ship because you got tired of waiting, well, see ya. But kind of when you start a new bloodline, kind of takes 5 years in order for it to sink in and change. And then you just kind of got to let the ball roll. And you're really going to hate it that you jumped off the ship in 10 years from now. And you're really going to fucking hate us in 1,000. Because this shit don't happen every day. Ain't that a song? Your turn, even if you're A. If you're A, then you got to deal with B. Because if you're A or you're B, then you're, what'd I say? 2 freaking timelines. Boom, merged together. You're AB now. You're going through an AB negative C. When you hit 0 point and you're in a complete flow and you know that you're in plasma, you go outside and you start seeing those clouds and they're interacting with you and they're blowing up. Those are plasma clouds. You're in plasma. You're at 0 point. You're at the frequency of AB negative. I don't care what the fucking blood type is. You and your energy field are at the frequency of AB negative, wherever you are. Everybody's getting up. Now, everybody up here in 0 point AB negative land, that's got its own issue. That's what we're waiting to see. Once we pull everybody out, then start seeing what we do with it next. Right now, we still have the freaking Heckle and Jekyll and the damn Three Stooges running the lab. Right? We're at a different phase right now. We'd be way better off. We could just get everybody up to that state. Everybody know, I don't care. You can also see this in your chart. If you just I'm going to hang up soon real quick, but I want to add this. And I hate to push this but I don't know where else to find them. So if you actually know where else to find these, if you can message me on Amazon, they have a blood test. Now, this was the Blood Wars. This is why a lot of you don't know what your blood type is. And a lot of you, if you haven't had children and you're a woman, then you don't even know if you're RH negative. I've had women that have had blood tests that have cost $5,000 and they got reports of all this crazy stuff. They still don't know what their blood type is. This was the Blood Wars. They don't want you to know. So if you don't know what your blood type is, now they used to give you 2 or 3. Pretty pissed off. Now they only give you 1, okay? So if you go, it's on Amazon. Go look at the home blood test. Get 2. If you're going to order it and you really want to know and you're like, oh, I got to know, get 2. Because you do it at home, you don't send it into a lab. Nobody has to know unless, but you don't send it to a lab. It doesn't go into data, which I'm all about. And you drop blood on it, but if you don't get enough blood and it doesn't coagulate right, and it's really hard to tell, is it this one or this one, so get 2. It'll be, I think it's around, for 2, I think it's going to be about $30. And do them at home just to see if maybe you can get an idea. If you don't know, it's not gonna affect anything. And I can even see it in your charts. Bloodlines don't have stelliums. A stellium is like 3 planets in a sign. Blood, not oneg. Even oneg might have they might have a stellium, an oneg might have 3 planets in a sign. But like I've got 6 planets in one sign. Your ABs and your A negs and your AB negs and your B negs, just because it's a big clock and a clock and a clock, because it's astronomy, and like so it goes over ages of time and bloodlines, and it wasn't even called A back then, but it's still what it is. Does that make sense? And I know that there's this big thing about what came first, O or AB negative. Well, that's another chicken and egg thing. Every single space program that you're going to see, they're going to talk about Rh negative blood. Every space program you see, somebody needs blood, they're walking around the ship taking your blood. In space and in the higher dimensions, money wasn't it. Your blood and your DNA was the currency. Your blood, your semen, your DNA, and that's what was coming next. That's why we had to change the blood. You follow? So what we're basically doing is just overriding the system. Like, what happens when you put a stick of dynamite and then you attach all that dynamite to 100 volunteers and then you light everyone's DNA on fire to wake it up? That's what we're doing. We've been doing it a while. It's already blown to the past point of expansion. This is why you're having the side effects that you're having, but this is also why you're doing it, because you're figuring out exactly what you are and your abilities. Okay? This is what's happening right now. We're the real damn deal. All of you. You know, I meet people all the time, and I'm going to end with this. And it's always interesting when I deliver this message, because about 90% of the time people get exactly what I'm saying. About 10% of the time, before I finish, they pop back at me. And this is what I say to people when I meet them. When I meet you out, and if I meet you and I end up speaking to you over a long period of time, or if I'm just out and we end up meeting and having like a real spiritual conversation, that shit don't happen for just anybody. I'm fine dancing and hanging out by myself. If I'm there to deliver a message, then I'll be delivering a message. So what I tell people all the time is, I know who I am. What I want to know is, who the fuck are you? Now, a lot of the times, most of the time, because I'm telling you, look, I've done a bunch of work. I pretty much know, I don't know exact, but I got a real good idea because I walked this whole thing. So if I'm spending time with you, then who are you? Because you're important as hell. Because why did I get sitting here to talk to you? I know how I work. 50%. We're still wondering how to activate the Stepford wife ATM. If anybody knows how to activate that without trauma, please let us know, because we're trying to figure out how to get our ATM working, because these motherfuckers took us for a ride and they made a whole lot of money. We're still figuring out how we work on that end. But I know who I am. So who are you? Because I just spent this much time with you. And there's only like 10% of people that stop me as soon as I say, I know who I am. And they go, I know who I am. Like, you didn't let me finish. Okay, who are you? I'm a strong spiritual being. And that's my point. You didn't claim shit. You didn't walk through processing. You got blocked from it. I'm here to now send you through the actual ascension so that you can come out knowing exactly who you are and what you're supposed to be doing with it. Not that you just think that you know. That's my point. But I was sent here for a reason to talk to you. It's really amazing. All of us that have been walking this, I mean, I was in a taxi cab in Vegas. It was Uber. It's a third one after my car broke down on Hugh Hefner Drive, which is part of it. On the road that goes straight into Gold Coast next to the Palms off Wynn, which is a part of it. And I had to take an Uber back over there, and my last Uber driver was a woman from India. And as soon as I got in the car, I don't remember how it always starts somehow. As soon as I got in the car, it started somehow, and it came up that I was an astronomist and I knew some stuff, and she almost started crying. And I looked at her and I go, "Did you pray this morning for help?" Yeah. I was praying all morning. My friend, da, 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 da. And I'm like, well, here I am. Here I am. You get those messages and you end up in the car. You end up right in the place that you need to be. It's never about you. It's always about what you can do for someone else. And when you make it about that, then what you get back is everything you gave to them. And it's so amazing when you get in the flow with this, because you're just constantly delivering messages and getting, an energetic response and working together. And you can, in this new energy, you can, in a group with everyone hued up, you can do in a month what used to take you a year. And I'm not joking. That's why the government has to go bye-bye, because even they were on an old time schedule. What was taking us a year 20 years ago now takes them 10 years. Exactly. Okay? So, I love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow, and what I'm going to do tomorrow is show you these large physics. Because that's A. And those fuckers don't stop. Up or down. And then Saturday we'll be doing a wash. If you haven't done go check out YouTube, Princess Chastia. These washes will change your life. Please go check that out. We're also working on coaching and all that. We've been really busy, and retreats are starting to come up with some people in other countries. And so basically you're getting the premiere of BAMA training, and when I'll just remind everybody real quick, today started I keep wanting to say night, so we are in Page. It's Page of Swords. However, it's got a lot of nighty energy. And I do believe we have night. Hold on. Let me just, because I did write, I can't remember what day it was. I just had to write Knights Templar on something. Friday, July 11th. Friday, July 11th is 007 day. Literally. And that's Knights Templar. That's a whole nother thing. They were wolves. But anyway, that's all been processed too. Like the whole thing was like different pieces. But Knights Templar, for whatever reason, right now we're at Page of Swords. So this is all about just the truth, standing in your truth. Like I said when this started, if you missed it, we're on 3D days right now. Tomorrow we're going to have a little bit of reprieve. So tonight you might get a reprieve. Tomorrow it's going to go to 4D. It's going to go back down. We got 008, I'm pretty sure. We know now 8 has to do with Bitcoin, digital currency. So over the weekend, freaking pay attention to what's moving around, what's going on. Because whatever it is, it has to do with freaking money, whether it appears that way or not. Then on Monday, we got another 4D day. And next week, I hate to tell you, but we're drudging through it. Then, after we get through next week, it's like, we got one day that's 0003000. We got this crazy like 60, 70 days that are coming up in July that are going to make a whole lot more sense of what's going on now. So keep it in your calendar, keep it in your notebook. Any type of weird thing pop up, anything out of the ordinary, just make a little note. You're not going to have the full story for a while. Those are things you want to take a note, take a note, take a note, take a note. Step away. Whenever, put the little note away. Put it in your desk. Don't sit there and study it. Pull it out and go, weird shit that happened to me. Cosmic weird shit. CWS. Oh, what is that? Cartoon Network? Anyway. Weird shit that happened. That's one of those things that like after 5-6 months, step out and look at it. You'll be like, oh my gosh, you see the full story. You're not going to get it all in the beginning. So, I'll see you soon. Love y'all. Thanks for letting me vent in the beginning of this. Check me out on YouTube.